Hi guys, so I'm showing you how to make this teddy. Very simple, small crochet teddy. Though if you do it in chunky weight yarn, you get a much bigger size, which is quite cool. More is explained about that on the video that shows the head. See, because I've already filmed the head and the body separately, so do check out them. They will be linked. Is it up here? Down here, isn't it? Somewhere up there, I think, isn't it? I can never quite remember which way round it is. But, so these two are in part 1 and part 2 of the video. So now I'm going to show you how to do the legs and the arms. And so for that we're just using a DK weight yarn. And this is Stylecraft Special DK. And we're using a 3mm hook. Hopefully you can see that. And obviously you'll need a needle to weave in your ends, a stitch marker to keep track, and a pair of scissors to cut your yarn at the end. So we're starting with the magic loop, or the magic circle, or the magic ring. There's all different names, but that's just wrapping around and going under. I've shown on the head how to do this with more detail, but we're just going to start with 6 single crochets, that's 6 double crochets for US in this magic loop, magic ring, magic circle, whatever you want to call it. There's 6, and hold that straight where you pull this, so you close it up into your circle. You want to make sure that's pulled really nice and tight so that there's no hole. Now we're going to work straight around, so in a spiral, so we're going to put our stitch marker in there, so it's around the current stitch you have on your hook, and that's going to mark where our round ends. So the first round we're going to increase to 12 stitches. That means we're going to put an increase in every stitch round, which is 2 single crochets or UK double crochets into each stitch. So we're increasing from 6 stitches to 12 stitches. And here's our 12 stitches. So you're going to move your stitch marker. You can get it undone. Okay. Now for round 2, no, let's try that again. Round 3, because 2 was the increased one. So round 3, we're going to go up to 18 stitches. Okay, so this is, excuse me, you're going to do 1 single crochet and then an increased stitch, so that's 2. And this is forming the bottom of the feet. What we're doing here is we're just forming this bit here before we shape it down into the leg. Okay, so it's all one piece. So 1 single crochet and then increase, so 2 into that same stitch, and you're going to work that all the way around doing a single crochet and then an increased stitch. This will increase your stitches by 6, giving you a total of 18 stitches. Last increase is your last stitch of the round. we now have 18 stitches and round 3 is done. So we're now moving on to round 4. Don't forget to work your yarn tail in, so for this one I'll start working it around. There's more information on the other videos how I work that in to make it secure, but you're basically just going to work within the stitches, and sometimes you're going to make it a part of the stitch. So for round 4 we're going to do 2 single crochets and then the increased stitch. That's 1, 2, and then we do increase. We're just going to repeat that round, doing 2 single crochets and then an increase while working your tail end in. This is taking you up to 24 stitches. Okay, so we now have 24 stitches and we've completed 4 rounds. Now rounds 5 and 6 are straight no increase rounds, so we're just going to do 24 stitches all the way around. Round 5 done, so again round 6 is just straight around. And that's round 6 done. Okay, so we now have rounds 5 and 6 done, and we're going to move on to round 7, which is where we start doing the decreasing and shaping of the foot onto the leg. So we're going to start these decreases here. So for round 7, we're going to do 4 single crochets, so that's UK double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're going to do 3 decreases. So that's into the front loop of the first and the second stitch. And complete your stitch. That's 1, 2, and 3 decreases. Now we're going to single crochet 14, which basically takes you round to the stitch marker and finishes off this round. Okay, that's 14 and the last stitch. So that's round 7 finished, so move the stitch marker ready to do round 8. Round 8 is also another decrease round to finish the shaping of the foot, so we're going to do 4 single crochets again, so UK double crochets. And we're going to do 3 decreases again. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to single crochet to the end to your stitch marker again, which is 11 stitches. We're going to have 18 stitches left at the end of this. Yes, that's end of row 8, where we now have 18 stitches. Move your stitch marker across. Okay, so we're doing a decrease round again, but this time we're fully decreasing down to the width that we're going to have the leg. So we're going to go down to 12 stitches. So we're going to do 1 single crochet, and then we're going to decrease in the next stitch all the way around. So 1, and then decrease, 1, and decrease, and just keep repeating 1 and decrease all the way around, which will leave you with 12 stitches. Okay, so that's round 9 done. You now have 12 stitches, and so for rows 10 to 15 we're just going to do straight, so no increases, no decreases, just do 12 stitches for each round until you have 15 left, so 15 rows done, sorry. Okay, it's a good idea to start stuffing your foot now. So I'm going to do that off camera because it messes with my focus. But just to start stuffing your foot and work your 15, work your rows so you've got 15 straight rows done then. So you'll have 15 rows total. So okay, see you back in a minute. Okay, so we now have done up to round 15, there's your straight leg, and we're going to do the final decrease round now, finishing this off. So make sure that you have thoroughly stuffed. You want it nice and firm down at the bottom and the centre of the leg, but the top of the leg you want it a little squishy because you're going to shape it down into the body when you sew, so you don't want a really tight leg at the top. If it was really firm it wouldn't squish down into the shaping that you want, so loosely stuffed at the top but firmly stuffed at the bottom. Okay, so round 16, which is the last round, we're going to decrease all the way around, so we're taking it from 12 stitches to 6 stitches, so that's just front loop and front loop. We're just going to do that decrease all the way around. So nice and simple. Could get a little fiddly at this point as it gets smaller, but just keep at it and you'll get there. And last one. Okay, so that's my 6 stitches done. So we're just going to finish off by slip stitching into the next stitch and then going like you would to chain 1, but snip your yarn and pull that through, and then we're going to just seal off the end because we need to make sure that that hole is closed up, so we're just going to weave around the stitches slightly so that we can secure it in. So that hole is really closed up. You want to create a little knot to make sure that you've secured that in place. Make sure it's really nice and tightly done. You can see it's squishing down nicely at the top, which is what will help shape it to the body when we sew it on. But just to be extra secure, weave your end in through the leg a few times and then bring your end back up to where you'll need it for sewing to the body. If you make sure you leave your towel long enough to sew your item to the body, your leg or your arm or whatever, you can then reduce the amount of ends that you have, which will reduce your weak points. So just pop that back up there, and that's one leg complete. Now you're going to need to create a second one of these because the legs are made exactly the same, so just create a second one of these, and I'll show you how to sew that on later. Okay, next we're going to create the arm. Now again we're going to need 2 arms, and they're made with the same yarn and hook and everything. So the arms are really nice and quick. We're going to start with the magic ring 6 as usual. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Close that up just like normal. And we're going to create increase for row 2. We're going to increase all the way around, taking it from 6 stitches to 12, just like we've done with the rest of the items. Put your stitch marker in if you want to, but I'm not going to bother because we're only doing one lot of increases this time around. So as long as you keep track of how many you've done, you won't need your stitch marker for this. There we go, that's 12 stitches created. Make sure you've kept that end fully tight because you'll start weaving that end in from now on. Okay, so rounds 3 to 15 are straight rows. This is just fully straight arm. So we've done our 6 and we've gone to 12, and now we're just going to work straight all the way up. Okay, so it's just 12 stitches all the way around until you have 15 rows. The arms are nice and quick to do, and they're both made the same way, so you'll just create 2 of these. Again, I will stuff off camera because it messes with my focus. But when you get around halfway, it's probably a good idea to start the stuffing. Okay, so we're just going to keep going round and round until you've got 15 rows. So I'll just finish off camera and stuff it and meet you back to show you how to finish off the entire arm. Okay, bye. Okay, so now we've got all 15 rows done, and I've already stuffed mine off camera to stop with the focus problems. So make sure you've got it fully stuffed, and again make sure it's firmer down the end here but a little softer at the top here, so we can once again shape it into the body as we sew. Okay, so the finishing off is really nice and simple. Again, we're just going to decrease all the way around, take it from 12 stitches to 6 stitches. Remember, the decrease is in the 2 front loops, and then complete your single crochet or UK double crochet. So we're just going to do 6 of these. Remember, you'll want to create 2 of these as well, so that we've got 2 arms and 2 legs done, because they're both identical. There's no additional shaping to make them left or right sided, which is what makes this such a nice simple teddy to create. In the next video I will show you how to do the tail and the ears. So there's 6 done, so we're just going to slip stitch and finish off. And again, we're going to want to close up that hole to make sure no stuffing come out or little fingers can get in. So again, just weave in and out of the stitches so you can cinch that closed. Make sure it's nice and firmly closed. And tie a little knot to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And the same with the leg, you're just going to weave in and out for a little while just to make sure it's thoroughly secure. Finding the path of least resistance through the stuffing. By sewing through the stuffing, you make sure that that end is not going to come out, because it is nice and secure, because the stuffing will compact in on itself with use, and that will make the end become even tighter and firmer in it. So when you've been round a few times, leave your end near the top so that when you sew in you can use that end. So now I can sew from there to the body, which will be along there. Okay, so that's how you do the arms. So make a second one of them, and when you have 2 arms and 2 legs, check how to do the next video for how to do the ears and the tail, which are nice and really quick to do as well. And then I'll show you how to put it all together. So I'll see you all later. Bye!